Hi guys, welcome back to the next lesson in our decimals topic. Today we are going to look at multiplying and dividing a decimal by a single digit. As you can see, your learning intention is just the same as your title there. You will have been successful today if you can understand and use the correct layout for multiplication and division sums and be able to apply these rules to solve problems in context. So when multiplying, it is incredibly important that we line everything up in the correct place value. We use the exact same rules as when it was our whole numbers when we are multiplying with decimals. So this isn't the way we like to lay things out. I'm going to first start writing as my 8.3 times by 3. 3 threes give me 9. Line up my decimal point. And then 3 eighths give me 24. So that gives me an answer of 24.9. Again, same idea. I'm going to do 21.8 times by 4. 4 eighths give me 32, so write my 2 down, carry that 3 underneath my 1. Line up those decimal points in my equal sign there. 4 ones are 4 plus 3 is 7, and then 4 twos give me 8 for an answer of 87.2. This time I've got 5 times by 12.25. Remember, this is exactly the same as doing 12.25 times by 5. So I can write it exactly the same way as I have written those last ones. 12.25 times by 5. So 5 fives give me 25. Write my 5 down, carry that 2. 5 twos are 10, plus another 2 is 12. My 2 down, carry that 1. Again, line up my decimal points. You can see I had 2 numbers after my decimal place in my original number here. So I've got 2 in my answer here. 5 twos are 10 plus 1 is 11, and then 5 ones are 5 plus that 1 gives me 6 for an answer of 61.25. Remember, there are lots of words and phrases that we can use for multiply, so just as a reminder, you've got lots of for lots of 12.3, you've got times, you've got product, you've got groups of, and obviously multiply. When dividing, it's incredibly important that we line up everything into the correct place value. Again, this isn't really the way that we write out our sums. For division, we like to do that kind of step shape there. So whatever I'm dividing by, remember it goes on the outside of my bus stop or outside of my step, and the number that we are dividing into 3 parts is going inside. So remember, your answer always goes on the top of that step. 3 can go into 4 once, with 1 left over. Need to line up my decimal point there. 3 goes into 18 6 times, so it's 1.6 for my answer. 16.75 divided by 5. Well, I'll start with my step shape. 5 goes outside. 16.75 goes inside. 5 can't go into 1, so we put a 0 at the top there and carry our 1 over to the 6 to make 16. 5 goes into 16 3 times, with 1 left over. Line up that decimal. 5 goes into 17 3 times, but this time we've got 2. This time we've got 2 left over, and 5 goes into 25 5 times there. For this last example here, 22 doesn't have a decimal in it, but we're going to need one in our answer, and you'll see why when I start talking us through this example. So 8 on the outside, 22 on the inside, and you'll notice that I've left space at the end here because we're going to need that wee bit extra room. 8 cannot go into 2, so I'm going to fill in a 0 at the top and carry that 2 across. 8 can go into 22 twice then, but 8 twos are 16, so that means that I've got 5 left over. So what I need to do, instead of what we used to do, write a remainder, we are now going to fill in a decimal point and put a 0. because 22 just means 2 tens, 2 units, and then no tenths, no hundredths. So putting that 0.0 doesn't change my number, it still has the same value. And now I can carry that 6 over. I need to line up my decimal point on my top line. 8 goes into 67 times. And that leaves us with a remainder of 4, so I'm going to have to fill in a second 0 here to be able to carry my 4. And then 8 goes into 45 times. So my answer this time is 2.75. Remember, we have other words and phrases for divide as well. So share equally, each, equal parts, split into, so split 2,000 into 5 equal parts, and out of is another word for divide. Here we're moving on to our context examples. So remember, context just means that you've got your numbers in a wordy question and you've got to pick them out and decide what operation we're doing. So I like to do this by underlining or highlighting the important bits. So if 1 cupcake weighs 56.2 grams, how much would 8 weigh? So if we know 1 and want to know 8 of them, then we are going to need to do 56.2 times by 8 because we're getting bigger. So my answer needs to get bigger. So 56.2 times by 8. 8 2's give me 16. Line up my decimal point. 8 6's give me 48, plus 1 is 49. 8 5's give me 40, plus another 4 gives me 44. So my answer here is 449.6, but if we have a look back at the start, we were given the weight of 1 was in grams, so I'm just going to finish by saying 449.6 G for grams, and that's our answer. Okay, last example guys. This time Mrs Jones gets paid £49.44 for doing 6 hours work. So that's our 2 important pieces of information there. £49.44 and 6 hours of work. How much does she get paid per hour? So that per hour tells us that we are having to divide. We're sharing those 6 hours out equally. So I'm doing a divide sum. My 6 goes on the outside. My 49 pounds and 44 pence on the inside. 6 cannot go into 4, but it can go into 49 8 times with 1 left over. Line up my decimal. 6 goes into 14 twice with 2 left over, and then 6 goes into 24 4 times. Remember, we were talking about pounds though, so each hour she gets paid £8 and 24 pence. And that is you done with the notes portion of today's work. Well done guys. Here you can see I've got our mild questions, so these are the ones that I expect everyone in our team to be able to do. Our medium one, most of us should be able to do. Again, they're just a wee bit harder because they are not already laid out for you. And then question 5 is like the last 2 examples we had there. I want everybody to have a go at this. You just need to decide, am I multiplying or am I dividing? Everyone should be able to give this their best shot. Any problems, you know you can contact me on our Teams chat or by a wee email and I will get back to you as quick as I can. See you in the next one.